adventures in a great new show. It's an all-new Saturday morning. You see it in us, It's an all-new Saturday morning.
Hello and welcome to Classic Cartoon Rewind, the podcast where we provide audio commentary and watch-along tracks for cartoons published between 1940 through 1999. They're either based on or inspired by comic books. I'm your host, Carter Hutchison.
And I'm your co-host, Huey V.
Huey, I'm glad to have you back in the studio, man. It's been a couple weeks, I feel like, since we've been able to get our schedules on the same page here.
Yeah. And then stuff just been going on with the family and everything. Right. So it's like been keeping me away.
Did you, Nat was filling in your place. Did you have a chance to check any of those out?
I haven't got a chance.
Okay.
I've been working.
You would like the Spider-Man one.
I'm definitely going to check
You
those
need
out.
to listen to the Spider-Man one. The one on Spidey exiting the MCU.
Yeah, man.
Yep. I finally got to get out all those feelings I have about the Tom Holland Spidey stuff.
Yeah, man. You kind of... You need to.
Yeah, I needed to.
It was
like an hour of just therapy.
And it just hit like all in one day.
Right.
You wake up one morning and then that's what's like all over Facebook, all over
it was everywhere.
The news.
Yeah.
And then everybody has split decisions or split ideas on what's going on.
Yeah. Whatever. Controversial. Okay, so today on Classic Cartoon Rewind, we're in Batman the Animated Series. We're covering episodes 7, 8, and 9, which is going to be P.O.V, The Forgotten, and Be a Clown. Two of the three of these I'm really excited to watch. Forgotten's kind of meh-ish, but you'll see when we get to that one. Usually we do a intro into current like world events or whatever that would have been going on at the time this was published. But these are both still from September and October, which we have covered before in previous podcasts.
Yeah, because this is around the time where episodes are just weekly at this point.
Right. So there's not too terrible, and it's not the 60s like it was with that Giant Quest stuff or like crazy things. There's no rocket launchers shooting at Che Guevara that land in Queens.
You're not going to get a lot more. You're going to get some political stuff. You're going to get, but it's mostly
we had the Bill Clinton election was about to happen, so like some debates and stuff were going on,
and then that kind of goes cold for a minute.
Which we talked about that because there was a three-way debate between Bill Clinton, Bush the first,
and Ross Perot.
Yeah. And I said it was fitting that and that was the first three-way presidential debate. And I said it was fitting that Bill Clinton would be involved in America's first three-way.
A menage a trois, if you will.
I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I believe it's menage a trois. Yeah, man.
So there's a lot more of a technology boom.
Yes.
In the 90s.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a bunch of economic stuff going on and whatnot, which doesn't make for too great a radio, to be honest, or podcasting. But... So yeah, I love this first episode. Love it. Really, really good one. So, and we're covering 3 today because the next 2 episodes after this is a 2-parter.
Okay.
So the next one is a Two-Face 2-parter.
I love 2-part episodes.
Me too. And I didn't want to break that up. I wanted that to be a full episode. So we're covering 3 so that we can do 2 next time. So this one's going to be a little longer than usual, and that's why another reason why we're not really going to go into any news.
Right.
So without any ado, before we get into covering the episode, here's a quick message from our Patreon. All of Grassroots Comics is funded through our Patreon, patreon.com/grassrootscomics. For as little as $1 a month, you can become part of the Grassroots Comics community, which includes many perks, such as having your name mentioned in this segment of every episode of the podcast. The ability to suggest topics of discussion for shows like These Guys Have Issues. Access to the private Grassroots Comics subreddit where members can continue discussions started on the podcasts or start their own. Behind-the-scenes access to the GRC studio, and early access to digitally released comics and Classic Cartoon Rewind. So it is the goal of all of us here at Grassroots Comics Productions that one day the Patreon is strong enough where we are able to produce the stories, artwork, and stop-motion animation shorts pitched and selected by the Grassroots Comics community. But the only way that becomes possible is with a strong Patreon. So if you feel that the entertainment value you receive from this podcast is at least worth 25 cents, then please become a Patreon contributor today, and with our powers combined, we can have all of our stories heard. All right, now let's get on with the rest of the show. All right, and we're back, and I do want to thank our patrons, Adam Finney and Devin Hood.
The homies.
You know it. So, if you, which I hope you're watching along with us, listener, you can legally watch Batman the Animated Series on the DC app in all of its HD glory. There's plenty of DVD releases and stuff, too.
Yeah.
If you're that old school that you're popping in a disc, right?
Man.
I'm just saying.
I love everything digital.
Yeah.
I can't.
Man, my mother-in-law gave me a CD for my birthday, and I was like, "Thank you." And in my head, I'm like, "I have no way to play this."
Nope, not even in your car anymore.
Our car is a 2017, and it doesn't have a CD player. Yeah, it has Bluetooth
yeah.
and a plug-in for your phone, and a touch screen that interacts with your phone and everything, but no CD player.
You just live in the days where you can collect those things.
Right, collect. Wow, that's
I don't
crazy.
collect. When it comes to video games, I always get in an argument with certain people, and they're just like, this having a huge collection, it just is way better than having a Steam collection. And I'm like, okay, I get the nostalgia, and I get the fact that you want to collect these things, but then and then there was a fire.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. People like things though sometimes.
I feel you.
Physical, I have records. I have a record collection, and that's why I feel about that.
See that? Yeah.
But I feel like those are two extremes. I'm either gonna buy it digitally, or I'm gonna own it on vinyl. So it's this big physical almost art piece you have in your house.
But vinyl also sounds amazing.
Oh, it sounds so much better. Yeah, than any other.
Better. I'm one of those people that just vinyl is so much better than CD.
Agreed.
It's amazing.
All right, so let's get this queued up here. Okay, so if you're watching along with us, we have the WB logo on pause. And I am hitting play in 3, 2, 1, go.
You do it like Peter Griffin.
Right. So this episode, basically there's a police case that's gone wrong, and you get 3 different points of view of what happened, right? So point of view, POV.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. I'm sure you've never Googled that into any kind of search-based POV.
Yeah, no.
I'm talking to you, male listeners.
You nasties.
Right. You know what you did. God and the internet was watching. But it's loosely... The structure is based on a Japanese film called... I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of this, but Rashomon from 1950, which again has, several different points of view. And obviously one of them is an unreliable narrator, right? Somebody's not telling the truth. But, that's pretty sophisticated stuff for a...
So it's like Clue Noir.
Sure. Yeah. Pretty sophisticated stuff for a kid's show.
Yeah, it was the 90s.
That's true. I feel like 90s cartoons didn't really talk down to kids, and maybe the way that some cartoons do nowadays.
Plus, I think you also have older watchers as well.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That was a time where the demographics for cartoons were changing.
It's not, just because it's a cartoon doesn't necessarily mean the demographic is
gorgeous.
Children.
Right.
I just love how they do the artwork.
Not
too many layers.
It's simple for sure, but it's
3 colors.
It's everything you need.
Yes.
All right, so we've got Montoya there, Renee Montoya, a character I believe who was invented for the television show, and has taken on a life of her own outside of it. She eventually becomes the Question in modern DC comics.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's really gone on to be her own thing.
I love it when that happens.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just kind of have like the secondary or that not even secondary character, but it's just they create a great character.
Right.
And they just kind of make them their own.
Yeah, we're not even to Harley Quinn yet.
Mm-mm.
Which I think when people, if I ask someone like, what character do you think of that originated on Batman the Animated Series? Most people's answer would probably be Harley Quinn, but Renee Montoya is right up there. She dates Batwoman for a while too. She is a lesbian, by the way, in the comics. The kids show obviously doesn't really focus on that too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like this. I like the cartoon's take on Harvey Bullock in that you question if maybe he's a corrupt cop, but like at the end of the day, he usually does what's right.
Yeah, it's just his demeanor, like the way he dresses.
Oh yeah, he's a slob. There's a great episode that we won't get to way later, but it's called A Bullet for Bullock. And the whole episode's basically just about how much of an asshole he is. Because he's getting these death threats, right? And so Batman is trying to figure out who would want to kill Harvey Bullock. And the answer is like 3/4 of Gotham wants to kill Harvey Bullock. That's where it always starts. It's kind of amazing that he didn't eventually become a villain in the way that he like keys on Batman so much.
But it's like, J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel like, JJ could probably eventually be a villain.
He did create Scorpion.
Yes. And doesn't he... I think he dates Aunt May for a while, too, right?
Does he?
I remember...
God,
right.
That sounds awful.
For who? Just everybody? Or just in general?
You can't help who you love.
That's true. If it's Marissa Tomei, then, I couldn't help that either.
He's probably been waiting on that.
Right, jeez.
Sex kitten Aunt May.
Sex kitten Aunt May. Wow.
You hate that idea.
I do. I do. Again, listen to that's Spider-Man leaving the MCU podcast. I get all the feelings on Tom Holland's Spider-Man stuff. I love the generic gangster here. We've got fedoras, trench coats.
Right. You dip.
Jeez.
I didn't know you were going to swing on me.
Right?
Y'all woo.
Nothing for that. No comeback for the axe that was just swung at your midsection. Of all the places to get hit with an axe, that might be the worst.
He went straight down the middle of the... Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably like slow.
It's a bad way to go. Yeah.
Slow and painful.
It's a bad way to go. If John Wayne movies taught me anything.
Yeah. These colors are pretty, though.
Oh, yeah. There's that gangster rocking the ascot. Because as we know, the ascot is, of course, the fashion choice of...
Because you gotta have them look different.
I guess that's true, yeah. One's got to be differentiated from the other. What can I do for this guy? I've already got the Weasley mustache on the skinny guy. I don't know. Give him an ascot or something. Nobody wears that shit.
Yeah,
Looking at you, Freddy. From Scooby-Doo.
No
Dude,
way.
Have you watched Batman Hush yet?
No, I've not.
It's good. It's good. We need to cover that at some point. Did you ever read the storyline?
No, I haven't really gotten delved into any Batman.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because you hate that fan base.
No, it's not enough to... I do not like the fan base, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to pay attention to any Batman stuff.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I love how simple this is, that even a kid, sitting on the floor watching the TV can hear Bullock say, "I had everything under control, and Batman showed up and ruined it." And the kid's like, "No, that's not true.
That's not at all.
That's not true, Harvey."
We can
Yep,
clearly
I can see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see? Beat him out of the collar.
Meh. Back off, Commissioner. See?
Bullock rocking the fade when it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know he's a rookie because he has the soft-hearted voice.
Yeah.
Come on, mister. We were on time, I
It's
swear.
like very shy and clumsy.
Right.
You can almost just automatically tell who's like the bad guy at that moment.
Who do you think? Let's hear a guess.
Obviously, the soft-hearted guy.
You think it's this guy?
Yeah, when they lay it on thick like that.
Right. I honestly can't remember who's the, besides the obvious, like, gangsters robbing the place here. And it's such a simple caper, too. Like, it's not like, it's not the Joker trying to laugh and gas the whole town or something, It's just a robbery. I just like that. I like the scaled down
It's just,
stories.
it's not overdone.
Right. To me, that's a problem of a lot of superhero movies. Is there some of them the risks are too high, in that not every superhero movie needs to be saving the world or something. Deadpool's a great example,
yeah.
and that's not what he's doing. It's usually a personal thing. Specifically, I'm thinking of the Suicide Squad movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what Suicide Squad does to me. Like, they don't save the world from this giant, like trash floating in the sky type villain. It's more like a let's go like assassinate this leader in some like third world country type deal. Black Ops.
I just don't understand why, when you think of like a superhero movie, they want to create something that kids can go to and just have something for people to look up to.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
Well, not to bring it back to this always, but Bond has the same problem sometimes, in that, Bond doesn't always need to be saving the world.
No.
Like from, nuclear disaster.
Just save a country from like a warlord
right.
or something.
My favorite Bond movie is From Russia with Love, and the story of that is he's trying to get a decoder machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Dun, dun, dun. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Somebody out there got that. Slapping at the radio. Or earbuds. Or whichever way you enjoy your fine broadcasting program. With the smooth and dulcet tones.
We'll be right back.
Wolfman Jack! Yeah.
It's a big ass drill. That's a big ass gun.
Yes, it is.
It's a huge barrel on that bit.
You don't even have to aim with that.
Just
in the right vicinity.
jump and
point it.
shoot.
Right. It's got a good spread. That is a big drill.
Dang.
That's a good plan.
That
Throw
was
the money at her. Yeah, that's gonna go off.
I mean,
Speaking of bad ways to
it's a
die,
big ass
that's
drill,
gorgeous.
bro.
Man, the animation in this one is really killing it.
Yeah,
with
man.
the fire shadows and all the orange and red. Yeah.
Because a stick, yes. Stick will work.
I mean, what is that thug thinking? Of all the people who have gone against Batman,
Mm-hmm.
the zero amount of self-awareness it takes to think, I'm going to take him out with a stick.
With a god
Right.
dang stick.
Ooh.
You just have you?
Oh no, Batman.
Like, you've seen Blade and stuff like that, where
Yeah.
where
The first one.
But you've seen like the part after he gets blood in his system, and then he just like beats up a bunch of thugs.
Mm-hmm.
To be like, if I'm thug number 30, and I saw thug number 29
I'm
just
good.
like just get wrecked as bad as like the other ones,
Right.
You know what? I'm gonna realize that I'm not the guy for this one.
Yeah. We had a good
This
run.
guy's right. This guy's a one man army.
Right. I'm willing to cooperate, Mr. Blade.
it's do you spell it? How do you spell that, sir?
Is that Blade? How's that pronounced?
Blade?
Right. It's French. Blade. Wow. Oh. Oh, man. I got put in the guns, too.
I ain't want this shit, no way.
Not Montoya.
No.
She's a good one. I want to say that character is in Dark Knight.
Montoya?
Oh, no, that's Ramirez. I'm sorry. Yeah. And where does it go from here? Doing a little detective work? You gonna see some Batman running across the rooftops? Come on. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Better tell Batman. The individual scores for these episodes are so good, too. Like, yes, it's Danny Elfman's themes in the beginning, but still, just the music all throughout is spot on.
You can get too many like reoccurring melodies.
Right.
A lot of it's just made for the mood at
Right.
the moment.
Mini movies, as they called them when they were making them. Oh, that's a good death trap, whatever we got going on here. Batman without the utility belt's never a good thing either. Especially in the 66 show. I watched a little bit of that lately.
But he has 126 styles of martial arts.
That's a lot.
It's unnecessary.
Right.
It makes no sense.
Maybe like 4 would have done it, you know? That's a... Oh. Also, that's something I would not want to mess with as a crook.
Yeah, but I was like, what was that actually supposed to do? What,
Right.
That one button?
That sprays like a pink paint.
Maybe it might be flammable. His face is going to explode.
Okay.
His face is going to explode.
Nah, it's for multicolor Batman. Rainbow Batman. He was enjoying some Reese's peanut butter cups here, in case you're wondering what that crinkle crackle is. Huey's currently choking on a Reese's peanut butter cup.
I'm not.
Judo chop.
That was a throw, man.
Right. You just got beat up by a girl. Okay, let me ask you. Do you prefer your Batman with the yellow oval or without the yellow oval? Just the regular black bat.
I guess for the way he looks now, I really do like just the regular black oval.
Yeah.
Yellow oval like sends you back into a
It does.
time.
You're right. It does
really,
feel...
It's good for nostalgia. Like,
Yeah.
It really does take you back.
It feels like 70s, 80s, and 90s-ish to me, and then they eventually started getting away from it. I'll agree that every now it's a good change up, the oval. And I like how Frank Miller's Batman describes it as it's a target. And that's where his like heaviest Kevlar is right underneath the bat signal.
I mean, it would make sense,
Right.
being in his chest.
So it gives the bad guys something to aim at, right? So if they're going to hit him, he'd prefer to hit him there.
I know the bullet's not going to
Man.
get through there.
Right. That was some bad shooting, too. I think that guy was a stormtrooper
Oh,
in
God,
past
I was gonna
life.
say that.
Oh, man.
You got there. You got there before I did.
Dude, I saw a great meme
Well played.
today. Let me think of it real quick so I don't fuck it up. But it was a Star Wars meme, and it was a picture of Rey and Finn. And it said, if Finn ever got with Rey, then he would be the first stormtrooper to hit something.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ka-chow.
Right. I was like, yeah, that's accurate. I can't. Yeah, you two guys with a rope, you're going to take out Batman,
And
too.
one of you guys
Like,
have a chair or a table around your face.
that's going to be a problem. Well, it's going to be hard to see with the blindfold on.
One of you guys just got super tossed by Montoya, so that she launched one of you guys.
Come on.
One of the bigger ones.
Right. Is it judo that where you use like body weight and stuff against your opponent?
Jiu-jitsu.
Okay. Kazunai.
Yeah.
Ah,
That was a good one.
nice, man.
Dang it. Caught me off guard how funny that was.
Somebody said that with au jus today at work.
Oh,
They were
God.
like, can I get that God bless you juice? Yeah, man. I got you.
Really, when I was at Galleria, people would just say, "As you, please,"
Right?
and you'd be like, "Bless you."
Ah. Ooh, gee. Oh, okay. He just came out of the water. I was like, that guy is nervous. It's like the Key and Peele gif.
Yeah,
Right.
they're just like spurting
Just
out water.
sweating bullets.
Oh God.
Literally. Yeah, the animation in this one is really good. Oh,
See, that's
one way.
Yeah, that's really not how I want my day to end. Just chilling.
Right.
When that
In a
happens.
boat, playing some cards. Yeah. Go fish. Boom. It's a pretty handy way though to sink a boat. Yeah, just stand there, wave your arms and scream.
Yeah, they don't ever run.
Don't
in
worry,
cartoons.
right? Because it's not like that crane is unwieldy,
You can't just move out of the way.
right? That's crazy.
It's like 360 motion button.
Call the paddy wagon. Hackle. So what? He's from like internal affairs or something, I guess. That guy. Hmm. Even though you weren't there at all. No. The Grouch with a heart of gold. He
Yeah.
said thank you. You
Yeah.
fat ass.
Yeah. You fat ass.
Alright. So yeah, that was a good one, right? That was a good one. I really like that episode.
Yeah.
You don't sound as
No, it was a really good
Enthused.
episode. No,
Okay.
no, it was a really good episode.
okay.
Mostly indifferent about everything. You know.
Right.
Eh.
You sound like one of my coworkers today told me that whenever I'm talking to Carter and I say something that he disapproves of, he goes, "Okay,
Yeah.
okay." Like his voice gets like a little
That's
higher.
true.
And it's okay, and it's a nod, and he's just kind of quietly keeping inside what he's
Because they just don't want to curse you out
Right.
at this moment.
Like, really? You think that? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Mexico's going to pay for that wall. Okay. Okay. Sure.
Oh, man. I can imagine how many times you've had that
Oh,
conversation.
jeez. That's only like every trip to my parents' house. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. Well, people still think that. All right. Moving along.
Well,
Yep.
in this universe,
Yeah. Jeez.
in this
Whatever
universe,
parallel dark universe
Right.
we're in. Thanks, Barry. Jeez. Barry Allen, Mrs. Mom. That's how you get Trump.
fucking Barry.
I did have the thought the other day, and not to delve too much into politics here, but if Hillary had been elected, what would we have been talking about this past, 3 years? Like Netflix? I don't know.
You can only imagine that
Right,
it probably wouldn't have been as bad.
No. It wouldn't have been talking about dropping nuclear bombs and hurricanes and buying Greenland, all of which happened in the same week.
Same week. Yeah.
Fucking A, man. All
Conan
right.
O'Brien's doing another remote to Greenland
That's hilarious.
just for this. This is like, well, I'm going to see if I can close on the deal.
Right? God, that's great.
So I'm
That's
going
a
to
great
meet up
premise.
with everybody. It's like every remote he does, there's always a point where they talk about Donald Trump.
Really? Man, what I can't understand about that, and this is the last thing I'll say politics-wise, sure, buying Greenland is not that bad of an idea. If it was actually for sale, it's not. But the reason the reason he wants it is because with the ice caps melting and stuff, there's going to be a lot of trade routes that are going to open by going over it, essentially, over the top that you weren't able to access before. Okay, so that's the premise. So to get there, what is causing those polar ice caps to melt? Climate change, right? So how do we still keep those things separate in this administration, that we want to buy a whole country because climate change is opening up new trade routes, but we're denying climate change?
It's just how look.
It's fucking ridiculous. I said this to actually Adam Finney, one of our Patreon contributors. I said this to him today. I was like, if you took away the suit and the spray tan and the hair comb over stuff and put them in sweatpants or something like that, and take away his money and stuff as well, and put him at a Thanksgiving table, you would have a conversation with the rest of your family after he left of has anyone been listening to Uncle Donald? Who was going to talk to him about taking his keys?
Clearly fucked up.
Right. I think Shady Pines has an opening. Let's start. Maybe we need to find a home for for Grandpa Donald.
Definitely.
Right. That's not 1600 Pennsylvania. Anyways, all right. That's the last of that.
Look, man. I don't. It's crazy.
Yeah.
People just assume it's going to be a re-election for him.
I don't
think so.
I don't think so either, especially with the recession looming. But we'll see. All right, on to the Forgotten. So again, I have the WB logo on pause. I'm hitting play in 3, 2, 1, go. So this one's kind of weird in that Batman gets amnesia and forgets that he's Batman while he's trying to rescue this. There's a bunch of homeless people that are being abducted.
Okay.
And he ends up getting abducted with them and working on a chain gang, which is also something that you don't really a term you don't really hear anymore. So for our younger listeners out there, a chain gang was when prisons would force inmates into physical labor.
Just have them all chained up.
Sure. When you see, Bugs Bunny in the middle of a yard at a prison and he's breaking up the rocks and stuff like that, that's a chain gang because they're all linked by the foot to by a chain. It was also a song from the 60s, That's the sound of the men working on the chain gang.
Hey.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
It's a bop. It's a bop.
Gotta have a harmonica introduction, right, on a prison episode.
Yeah, it's needed.
Yeah.
So
You got
it's
the
very
blues.
cliche.
It is. But things are usually cliches for a reason.
Right.
That's a classic opening there with the doves. I feel like I've seen that in another
cascading.
right. I feel like I've seen that in another Batman series. So here we are on Skid Row.
You mean all of Gotham?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I can't remember what comedian it was that was on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. But they were talking about how, if you, like if your local politician isn't doing what they're supposed to do, you could be like, oh man, that guy's a real bum. Like if someone's not doing their job, like "Ah, he's a bum." But like the one person that you can't really call like a bum anymore is a bum. like you just can't, like, if that's not acceptable terminology anymore, I guess.
No, it's
Now, when I was living in Portland, I had a very interesting conversation with a hobo at a bus stop.
huh.
And I used the term hobo because he told me to use the term hobo. That's what he preferred. So he was like a train hopper type guy, right? And this is the only time I've never seen this in person. And I lived in New Orleans for a while, so I've seen my fair share of array of homeless people, unfortunately. But this guy was a homeless comedian. And he would tell jokes. And, like, if you laughed, you bought the joke. So, like, here's $1 because you made me laugh.
Oh man, no.
Now, I mean, that's at least like a service or something instead of like, hey, mister, can you spare some change?
I feel you.
I just always thought that was interesting. It was a very enlightening conversation
interesting.
talking with.
But you're forcing your services upon me. Am I agreeing to this? If
right.
I make you laugh,
Well, but you don't have to accept the joke though.
Okay. I'm just, the way it sounded was like he walked up to you and was like started just making jokes.
Right.
And you laughed and he's like, "Oh, you bought that joke."
You kind of did. I'll give him that.
Look,
you
I
kind of bought that
understand.
joke with your laugh.
Yeah, but not unknowingly.
You think that's Matches Malone? Is that what Batman's dressing up here? Or I mean, maybe he's just dressing up as a hobo, but it looks pretty Matches Malone. What kind of job?
He said, "I can break all of y'all."
Right. I like that even in his bum attire, he still keeps to the Bruce Wayne color scheme of a yellow button up with a tan. Ugh, tan suits. Even Obama couldn't pull that off, man. Even Obama.
Nobody could, man.
Right. And this is coming from a man who owns a tan suit. I was young and dumb. We all make mistakes. Kay Ivey has blackface. I have a tan suit.
Yeah.
Right?
See, that's same extremes.
Skeletons in our closets,
Yeah,
man.
we all have
Mine's
problems.
literally in my closet. But that's fine.
The problem is you still have it.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I mostly just use the pants now. They're just khakis that are like tailored. How did you? I didn't even see how. Was someone just behind him and they hit him over the head? Is that how you got Batman? Stranger is built. Somebody is bigger than everybody else here. Oh, there we go.
So they're not necessarily like prisoners.
This is illegal.
They have been kidnapped.
Yes, they are kidnapped. It's kind of like holes, is what I think of. It's like adult holes. That sounded way dirtier than I meant it to be.
Well, Holes was a legal place. They just didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, as in like what government? As in like the child like CPS or something.
They sent kids there. This is through an actual government. y'all don't go out to y'all spots and check stuff out. Y'all just send kids here.
That's a classic trope, right? The
Big fat
eating a turkey leg, the greedy.
with the white suit.
Right, his sin was gluttony, clearly. Gluttony and greed. When did the turkey leg get typecast as the food of choice for
fat guy? Yeah.
well, no, for the shitty people.
It's
Like,
just
is that like a Henry VIII thing or something? Like, I feel like I think of when I think of Henry VIII in his like later years and he's overweight and everything. I'm
always
thinking
has a
the
turkey leg in his hand.
Yeah,
and a grape in the other?
put him in the box. Now that would suck, but I honestly don't know which one I would.
He's a big dude. He's a real big guy.
Which one I would want least, working on the chain gang or being in the box. But I bet you the box is hot as fuck. That was a good area for a joke there, Alfred. You could have been like only vampires and teenagers or something. Lows daylight more than Batman. I feel like that was a missed opportunity for snarky Alfred.
Just,
You know?
I basically raised this man.
Right? This man-child. All these rocks that need busting. I was unaware of the high demand of labor for rock busting.
It's just like the generic, like, we're just going to have them break rocks until we can write something in, like, oh, it's just ore that we need.
Sure. Coal. Whatever.
It's like, what do you need homeless people to harvest coal for?
Oh, that's some bad luck, man. That's some bad luck. Family. Oh, there we go. Yikes. Now that would suck. Any kind of like mine situation where you're stuck in it.
Yeah, man, it's fucked up.
There's the comedian. Yeah, there you go. Good. Yuck, 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 yuck.
Just laugh through the pain. That's what we do, man. Maybe.
Maybe. Something is amiss. In later seasons, this would be the point where he would call Dick Grayson or something, to step in. But we don't have a Robin yet. It's got to be a dream, right? Yep. Oh, yeah.
If Wayne was Dale Gribble.
Nah, that's a cool transition. Now, if you didn't know who you were and you're having dreams like this, you have to ask the question, like, how fucked up of a person am I?
Yeah.
Like...
To give a mouse a cookie.
Maybe that's a good scene to kind of like explain why Bruce feels like he needs to be Batman. And that like money and stuff is really kind of like a band-aid over problems, and you're not really getting at the source of whatever, economic instability there is in Gotham.
Yeah, but Batman's gonna solve all that?
He could. I think in Bruce's mind, Batman's going to solve all that, or at
Bruce's
least like
mind. Batman goes about beating up villains.
right,
Doesn't
right.
do anything
The disenfranchised.
Literally does nothing for the economic status of Gotham.
Man, did you ever see that SNL skit where it's like a fundraiser at Wayne Manor, but it's a bunch of like it's like Kenan Thompson and not Cecily Strong, Leslie Jones.
I need to watch. I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's so great.
I don't even watch SNL.
It's awesome. It's a bunch of like it's like some kind of like inner city like fundraiser or something, right? and Bruce is coyly kind of being like, "So, how about that Batman guy?" And they're all like, Psh, "Batman, man, we got to do something about that guy."
Right.
Like my cousin Leroy was moving a TV from my auntie's house over to my cousin's, and in between, Batman broke 3 ribs of his and strung him up on a street pole.
He's like, I'm pretty sure Batman's racist at this
I
point.
mean, when you say it like that, it definitely doesn't sound good.
It's,
And that's literally how the skit just keeps going. Like everyone that Bruce talks to is just like, Batman, we got to do something about him, man. Now here we get some good Alfred work, and I think that's a kind of an undervalued, and well, really in more recent times they've kind of started to focus more on like how much of a badass Alfred actually is.
because he has a whole backstory,
Oh yeah, used to be in
whole
the
military background.
part of Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Mm-hmm.
In some versions, yeah. I really like the Earth One version where he was part of MI6 or something like that, and once he retires, the Waynes, as in Thomas and Martha, hire him as a bodyguard slash caretaker of the house. And then so if your job is to protect Thomas and Martha Wayne and then they die, like that's your biggest failing. So that's why he stays so close to Bruce and feels so attached to him.
Yeah, but then you also point out like they didn't want him around that night.
That's true. That's true, but that's
They just wanted to be a family night.
right. But that's like telling
people.
Peter Parker that it's not your fault Uncle Ben was killed. Like your guilt is going to take you there. Your
Yeah.
survivor's guilt.
Peter Parker takes on everybody's issues and making them his own.
Mm-hmm. But that's why he's so great, though, as a character. Especially Ultimate. I love the Ultimate version of Peter. Okay.
He makes a few mistakes as a child.
Oh, yeah.
He just led up to like some of the biggest calamities of his life.
Calamities. I love that word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we know you're not going to be able to catch him, Tubby.
We roll you down this hill.
Say Box Canyon. Now, what is that instrument where you like hold it to your mouth and you like hit the thing that makes like a twangy noise?
I have no clue.
Right, but you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
though, right? It's like doing. I feel like that is just as stereotypical of a like prison instrument as harmonica. But really, what we're getting at is that they're all pocket held, or pocket sized.
Could-
Can't exactly whip out a steel guitar or something.
You
And
could turn all those into shanks too. All those can be used as prison yard weapons.
it's my shankonica.
Shankonica. That was a good one. That was a good one, man. I'm proud of you.
I appreciate it. Just off the cuff. Now, I do think that Alfred would be a little bit better of a pilot than this. Like,
Has his background always been the military background, or was that something written
No,
after this?
yeah.
So-
In some versions, he's just a butler. He's just a, upscale, knows exactly where to put the forks, kind of guy. For all those wondering out there which fork to use if you're ever at a fancy dinner party, the way it works is you start from the outside and you work in. So like the tiny forks on the outside, that's probably your like salad fork or your like cocktail, like shrimp cocktail fork or something like that. It literally just your utensils work in.
Yes.
So for the next time you're at a swanky dinner party.
And that was Carter's etiquette class.
Right. That's all I got
Tune
for
in
you.
next week.
Right.
He'll
discuss
teach
door
you,
holding.
Yeah, and he will
Right.
teach you the
The
proper
do's and
etiquette to using the restroom.
What a sweet design for
I was
the
going
bat
to say, this is
plane,
very
though.
sleek.
Took that much out of him. That the Brit now thinks he's a Spaniard. Ah, this guy. Jeez. Clearly. I don't know if you'll have much room after this.
Yeah, low key, that looks delicious.
You must be hungry, bro. Like,
No, I'm just playing.
okay. Did you ever see, are you a Monty Python guy?
I haven't watched Monty Python in a long time, but
okay.
I do like
Do you ever see The Meaning of Life?
a long time ago, yes.
When that very large man is in the restaurant and he just keeps eating and eating and eating and like he is vomiting into buckets because he's eating so much that he's
God.
regurgitating it, and then like the maitre d' or whatever is like, just one more tasty morsel, sir. I'm stuffed. Yeah, this guy looks like that. Look it up. That's my favorite Monty Python movie. Meaning of Life. Good stuff. There's bats in that mine. That would also be a shitty situation, but that
Do we
would,
only use shotguns?
I mean, honestly, in an enclosed area like that, it's
Yeah.
probably not a bad bet. That's some cool lighting there for that
There's
Batman
some
shot.
really,
I
don't
love
do it.
Sneaky Batman. Love Sneaky Batman. That is to me that is much preferred over the like Frank Millerish version where he like busts into places and is like punching a bunch
because
of dudes out and stuff.
he's the Dark Knight.
He's a ninja, really.
He sneaks through the shadows.
Yeah.
And just bust through windows and start beating
Right,
the hell
it's
out
too
of
blunt.
everybody.
Right?
Yeah.
If he was going to be that direct, he would use guns. Man, something like this would play really well in a movie, I think.
It would.
With you could do so much with shadows and lighting and
It'd be a lot more suspenseful as well.
close to that scene in Dark Knight Rises when they're in the sewers or whatnot looking for
Yep.
Bane, and there's that tunnel that you see Batman down, and the guy shoots the handgun, and the handgun shots are lighting up the tunnel, and you just see Batman like on one side and then the other, and he's right on top of the guy. Which that's straight out of Batman Year One.
That's
comic,
classic
but-
Batman.
Oh yeah, it's totally.
Classic.
It's noir.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got some tiny legs there, dude.
Here we go with this again.
True. Mm. That's one way to get out. So everyone else died, right?
That's my
Right.
That's a huge explosion.
Yeah.
Did you save
and then
anyone?
cave in and
Like, who did you save?
the boss, the main bad guy, the worst person there, you saved, Batman.
Everybody else is clearly dead.
That's a moment where I feel like Batman a little bit could use that line from Begins, where he's like, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Right.
I do think that is one small area where some of the Batman series date themselves, and that in a modern time with social media, like if you live in Gotham City, there's no fucking way you don't know who Bruce Wayne is or what Bruce Wayne looks like. That's impossible. His face would be everywhere.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's people that don't know who Alexander Shannara is or looks like.
Really?
In Alabama.
No
I'm pretty
way.
sure.
His face is like every half mile.
It's cool, sometimes. I'm sure there's like a whole bunch of people that don't know who certain people are. There's a lot of people who don't know who LeBron James is.
Well, that's a shame. That's a shame.
It would be crazy to believe that there are people in that whole town that don't know who Eddie looks like because they just don't care.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Have you watched Dave Chappelle's new stand-up on Netflix? It's so good. It's so good. There's a part where he's talking about if LeBron James got a sex change and was playing in the WNBA, he'd be scoring like a zillion points a game.
I heard people were kind of pissed off about.
Yeah, but he knows that's gonna happen. Like,
it's Dave Chappelle.
He doesn't care.
His stand-up that he did, he was just like, does not get sensitive. Like, you guys know what show you got him to.
Right.
Like, he doesn't get overly
This is the same
offensive.
guy with the blind black white supremacist. Like,
what are you gonna do?
yeah, check your offensive meter at the door. Right. Like, just leave it there.
Right.
Yeah. To a certain extent, I feel like comedy should not really have those limitations that of offending people. But that's hard to do in 2019.
It's just the way it's the way things are going, man.
Yeah. Instant feedback. And everybody, you can have 1,000 followers or more or whatnot on your Twitter or whatnot. And yeah. Okay. Third and last episode for this episode of Classic Cartoon Rewind is Be a Clown. Guess who the villain is of this one?
Scarecrow?
Yep. Nailed it.
Nah.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Scarecrow loves being a clown. Yep. No, we got another Joker episode here, so we're going to be graced by Mr. Mark Hamill.
No Kite Man?
No Kite Man. Not in this one. We're not Batman Brave and the Bold.
Oh, man.
He is in that series.
He is, I know.
I love that show. I love that show so much. Because of how much it just embraces the silly aspects of Batman.
That was 2007.
That sounds about right. Yeah. I didn't appreciate it when it was on, which I think is the way a lot of people approach it. And then once it got off, you realize that. And I think as you get older too, at least for me, you become more okay with a sillier version of Batman has its time and place.
Yes.
A lot of people's introduction to Batman is the 66 show. And as a kid, that was serious to me. I didn't realize that it was campy and, it was a joke and that it was bad.
That was also around the time, the Playboy Mansion became a thing, right?
Right. Well, yeah.
So
Bill Dozer was friends with what's his name, Hugh Hefner and everything. And, they would be smoking weed in the Playboy Lounge watching the 40s serials. And those were very low production, and Batman's ears and stuff would be crumpled or bent. And they were laughing at it, and so he got the idea to do a, colorized version of this. That's all. Yeah.
It's funny how stuff like that happens.
Right. From weed. All right. So,
every conversation should start.
There you go. Right.
So we're just chilling.
Let's just at the Playboy Mansion, right? Smoking a J.
Yeah. Smoking
Like
some
you do.
weed, smoking some pot.
Like you do. I think they would say grass maybe at the time,
Smoking
that's
the
like
ganja.
right, or dope. I feel like old people always call it. Whenever an old person says dope, I have no idea what they're talking about.
It's like a wide spread.
But to me, it means like heroin or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking like serious stuff.
Right. But some older people that's still
older black people
that's still
smoking that dope and smoking that
dope.
Smoking that
They
weed.
just shot up the marijuanas. An actual Fox News. Wow, Jesus, I'm not going to get on that again.
Huffing the ganjas.
Huffing the ganjas. Wow. Okay, so moving on. Okay. All right. Okay. Moving on to be a
Oh, my
clown.
goodness.
I've got the WB logo on pause. I'm hitting play in 3, 2, 1, go. Doodoo. Now this is a really good Joker episode. All kidding aside. Let's not make this a laughing matter, the Joker episode, okay? Yeah, gentlemen, there's no fighting in here. This is the war room. Now, there's a kind of a bratty kid, to be honest with you, but his dad is shitty. His dad's the mayor, and his dad never really kind of pays attention to him, And it's the kid's birthday, and the dad uses the birthday as like a political fundraiser or something. And so he decides that he's going to run away. And who happens to be posing as a clown at the mayor's son's birthday party? But, yeah, yours truly.
Bane.
Right. Bane. I'm picturing Bane making like balloon animals now. Like, who ordered the giraffe?
This is a sunflower.
And now it is time for face painting. What a lovely color.
Young Sean Connery now.
Is that more?
That was more young Sean Connery.
Okay, I'll give you that. Now that's
Just
great.
roll right through that bit.
That's great. The mayor giving an anti-crime speech is interrupted by a high-speed police
just
chase.
A whole crime is happening.
A whole crime. Not that 2% bullshit.
No.
Whole crime.
Just wholehearty.
Made in Gotham City.
Just made in Gotham City vandalism and crime.
Locally sourced.
We don't outsource our crime. We don't outsource our crime.
Yeah, China's not taking that.
Homegrown is how we like our criminals.
Man.
Homegrown.
Yeah, they do. They do, from a laugh factory or what have you. Well, I guess Bane. Bane is an imported crime. Yeah.
That didn't happen in Gotham?
It happens in Gotham, but Bane is from, like, South America.
Yeah, but still,
Man, that would
homegrown
fucking
bullshit.
hurt. That would break
they're
lot of ribs.
They're not even conscious.
You're right. Also, is this the daytime?
It's like
The hell is-
mid-evening.
No, that's too early. That's too early for Batman. Yeah, there's the King Apple himself. You're not entirely off there. He's got a pie. Just a whipped cream pie sitting there.
Just so you guys know what his shtick is.
Right. Well, man, I'll be honest. I think this series might do the best job of striking the balance between. Usually, in versions of the Joker, he's either like a complete like psychopath, murdering maniac, or you're like Cesar Romero version that's kind of like a prankster who is a little mean spirited.
Mm-hmm.
But this is kind of a nice, happy balance. But He may throw a pie in your face, but it's a cyanide pie,
Yeah.
right?
So he gets like the trope, but everything is marked with like
It's still deadly.
an intellectual amount of insanity.
Yeah, that's fair. Right. Ooh, speaking of the Joker, have you seen that last Joker trailer yet? The Joaquin Phoenix.
I haven't seen like the last one.
It looks good for a movie that shouldn't exist. It looks really good.
You say shouldn't exist.
For a movie that should, why do you make this movie?
Just to, ride on the wave.
Again, I wish movies and shows, especially TV shows, would get away from this idea of what if we had a Batman show, but without Batman? What if we did a Superman
that literally
show?
makes no sense.
Right. Let's show this iconic character, but let's do it before he gets interesting.
Let's give you the build.
All right.
Let's do it that you really clearly don't care about.
Let's do it in a part that the Golden Age comics covered in a page, or like 3 panels.
If you give me Batman before anything, I want to know, what he was going through during his training.
Yeah, that's fair.
Give me League of Shadows.
Ooh, meeting a young Talia or something?
Yes.
There's something there, right?
Give me that.
But I think there's an argument to be made that once Bruce leaves Gotham on his quest to, learn how to do everything, he's kind of already Batman.
Well, I guess, not by name, but
no.
He's definitely...
He's in the spirit of it.
Definitely is who he's going to be, what he needs to be, at least.
Yes. Prosciutto. Haha.
I get it.
Because of pork products.
Yes.
Yeah. On the real, I do love some prosciutto.
It's delicious.
It's so fucking good.
Some nice cheese and crackers. Just fold it on that bitch. Honey goat cheese is really good.
I don't like goat cheese.
You don't like goat cheese?
I don't like goat cheese. I don't like my cheese to be watery.
No, see, I'll get something that's more fluffy than it is watery.
I don't know. My wife loves goat cheese, and I can't.
It's good, man.
I can't stand it.
I didn't actually think I liked it. I don't like feta. I don't like cheese.
What?
Like feta. Yeah, see,
Dude, I'm a sucker for
now.
anything with feta.
We are at an impasse.
Put feta on a dog turd, and I would look at it.
I don't know where that's coming from. That's very weird. All I'm saying is crumbly cheese. Fuck that shit. Blue cheese, I don't like blue cheese.
Oh, really? I like blue cheese a
I
lot.
don't like blue cheese.
I really think that goat cheese might be the only cheese I don't like.
You like blue cheese and you don't like goat cheese.
Yeah. At me.
I'll do it later.
Okay.
I'll do it later.
Okay.
This fool says that goat cheese is not as good as blue cheese.
Right.
He is a wildin'. My boy
The audacity.
is wildin'.
What will he say next? What kind of shot commentary could possibly come from this?
That's just Carter being controversial again. Just trying to do another
Shock
scandal.
humor for the sake of shock humor again. Right.
Always trying to be scandalous.
Yeah. Again, you know how on the other episode we were talking about...
I could tell that that's the Joker.
Right, clearly. Well, again, too, I think the kid sitting on the floor watching this TV in 1992 is probably supposed to be thinking the same thing, right?
He's like, that's
watch
Joker.
out, it's Joker. He's right behind you.
I remember being a kid watching stuff like this and getting super irritated by the other
the adults for
see, why are y'all so stupid?
Now these adults are fucking dumb, I will say. The candle should be a big giveaway. And again, if you're in Gotham City, and especially if you're the Gotham City mayor, why on earth do you invite a clown to your birthday party? Just don't even bring that kind of bad juju,
Fuck clowns.
Right?
It's so weird.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Oh, in other clown and DC news, smooth transition, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw a rumor, or maybe it's confirmed, that the director of the second It movie is going to be the next Flash director.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the movie. Yeah, it's a Flash movie.
Okay.
Until they inevitably scrap that and
yeah.
get another director. He's like the fourth guy, at least, I remember.
They talk about doing the Flash movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is it so hard for them to find somebody?
Well, because of Justice League was a mess. The guy that they had at first was
man, that's all their fault, man.
Yes, agreed. But I think though that if you're gonna try to set the course back, the great way to do it is a Flash movie, because you can use time travel, multiverse stuff to
They use that's basically what his deal is now.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes to like resetting stuff.
Oh yeah, if there's continuity stuff going on, you gotta have Flash.
Flash goes back and fix whatever. He's great.
Yeah.
I love the Flash.
So we'll see. But it was the guy that made. Do you remember that movie Dope? Again, speaking of, right. He was originally on for a Flash movie. And then I know like Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the guys that made the Lego movie, and were originally on the Solo movie until they weren't, until Disney fired them mid-production. I feel like there was somebody else. I remember hearing for a while too that Robert Zemeckis was rumored for it, and I would really like that one, but it might be too big.
It's not an overambitious. It wouldn't be an overambitious movie. Doing
Flash?
The Flash. It wouldn't have been, because the show is very well done. I haven't watched recent stuff, but it's when I watched like the first few seasons.
Yeah, it's good.
Like right when they had.
Well, the first 2 seasons are really good, at least. When they had what?
They reset the whole timeline in that one, didn't they? Like
yeah.
Like was it Iris and Barry wound up getting together, or they were about to get together, but then he wound up having to like.
He goes into the Speed Force or something, right? And he saves. Spoiler alert: he solves his problems by running fast.
Yes.
Right.
I didn't get into the point where everybody started getting powers, though. That's where I haven't gotten into yet.
I think Savitar was the last villain I remember.
I think I was right before that.
Okay.
This is right when they started doing a lot more crossovers and when it became the Arrowverse.
No, I can't fucking wait for the one they're doing this year. The Crisis on Infinite Earths. Have you heard anything about this?
I've heard they were doing that, but I haven't heard anything on it.
All right, so they're pulling in just people from everywhere, like tying into the show here. Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman in Batman the Animated Series, is going to finally play a live-action Bruce Wayne.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. And Mark Hamill.
I heard about that.
Coming in live-action Joker. That's going to be phenomenal. Just that, you have my money, like, immediately. But yeah, they're doing it for their mid-season finale and, I guess, mid-season premiere, you know? Mm-hmm. So, and it's across 5 shows. So it's 10 hours total that it's going to take up. And I know I think they're bringing in like the Smallville people and like just like Burt Ward from Batman 66. Yeah, bring in anybody. Bring in Terry Hatcher. Don't bring in Dean Cain because he's an asshole now.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Don't.
It sucks. It really sucks.
I'm more of a fan of that than, you know, making every person that's ever played Spider-Man and putting them in one movie.
Really?
Yes.
Like we talked about.
We've had this conversation.
Privately, yeah.
Fuck that.
Oh, come on now. I could see where a kid might want to run away with the Joker.
I mean, especially, like, you're not supposed to know who the Joker is.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think you, as the watcher, the viewer, you know who the Joker is. As random people.
Well, he's got to be on, like, news reports and stuff.
Yeah, but you think, like, kids are all going to know who the Joker is?
Or kids are paying attention to the news.
They know what he looks like specifically.
Right.
If you're an adult, yeah, maybe you're going to know who the Joker is. But as a kid, all you know him as is just some, like, really funny kid guy.
Kind of, right. Kind of slightly off-putting clown.
And to a kid, I don't even think he's going to be that off-putting.
Right.
Because he's going to go out of his way to try to make the kid laugh and make him comfortable.
Right. I believe that's called grooming.
Yes. Ask Jason Todd.
Oh, yikes.
I went there.
So, who's the new Robin?
I went there. And I stand by it. Jason Todd had every right to be mad when he came back.
Yep. There's that part in the Red Hood. You know what I'm talking about? He's like, I understand you, like moving on from my death or whatnot, but like, why on earth is he still alive?
Period.
Yeah.
You just needed the Joker more than you needed us.
I love that delivery. That you're gonna love this there. And nothing good ever comes from those fortune teller machine things.
No. Not in these type of shows.
No. Ask Tom Hanks too.
Yeah.
Right?
Good movie.
Great movie.
I heard it was great on Broadway.
They put Big on Broadway? That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, yeah, I bet.
When you guys go to New York, go to a Broadway show, man.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Cats on Broadway. On Broadway.
That's a long time ago.
I mean, yeah, but
It was like 90s.
yes.
You're not much older than me, though.
No, I have not been to New York since 9/11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there like a reason behind that, or is it
No,
just like
no,
you just
I just haven't. Yeah.
Karen wants to go to New York by the end of the year.
Okay. Oh, that's a good line too. He's got popcorn. Ugh. I do bet the Joker's breath is rancid.
Yeah, it has to be. His teeth are like...
Right.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah, and he's not like huge on dental hygiene.
It would have been funny if there was battery acid in there. Couldn't get mad at the kid because you're the one that put it in there. It's like, why did I have that spray bottle with
Just laying around, right?
carbonated battery acid?
Carbonated battery acid. Snake Man, freak show. Man, again, missed opportunity for a good little Easter egg here. Like a poster by the freak show for Killer Croc would have been great.
That's something they would definitely do now.
Right.
You would see a lot more of that
Mm-hmm.
in like video games and stuff.
Oh, for sure. The Arkham games will be all over that.
Mm-hmm.
Crocodile Man. Yeah, something lame. Crocodiles.
Crocodiles.
Those damn crocodiles. Did I say Spook House?
Yeah, I think so. I thought
Okay.
it was saying like... I thought Smokehouse for some reason. I was like, well, that's not scary at all.
Right.
The
Sounds
twin
kinda sexy.
terrors.
Come see the smoke show. Starring Selena Kyle.
Totally see that.
Right. Safari shooting game. Boy, there's some dated stuff in this one. It's a cool premise, though. Kind of game of a cat and mouse between Batman and Joker in a abandoned theme park.
Yeah, that's like needed. And then they're like chasing each other with... on a...
On a roller coaster.
Roller coaster
Yeah,
cars.
classic. We got some baby bombs. Man, did you see those thermal detonator things that Disney was making, like the Coca-Cola thermal detonator?
No.
So, like from Star Wars, the thermal detonators, right? But
Yeah.
it's a thing of Coke. And I saw that TSA is not allowing them on their planes. I guess because they resemble a bomb too closely. But that's fucking stupid because it's Coca-Cola. It's a soda. So the terrorists won, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's more American than taking Coca-Cola on a plane? And I can't do that anymore. Thanks, Osama.
Thank you, Osama. It's all your fault.
Right.
That's why Obama got your ass.
For real. Killed him dead.
And you killed him dead.
You ever seen that movie, Zero Dark 30?
Mm-mm.
God, I love that movie. You should really watch it. It's good. It's about the hunt for Osama and the eventual, like, SEAL Team 6 raid on his complex.
Okay.
It's really, really good. Same person that made Hurt Locker, I want to say.
Okay.
And, like, Jarhead, I think.
I've seen a little bit of Jarhead.
Mm-hmm.
Jarhead was with Jake Gyllenhaal, wasn't it?
Yep. Good old Mysterio.
Yeah, like Jessica Biel and Jamie Foxx, is that what the one?
Really? I've never seen Jarhead. I just know this person, yeah.
I think that I could be wrong. I know Jake Gyllenhaal was in it.
Yeah, I'm for sure on that one, because he's on the cover and everything.
Not my favorite actor.
Really? I mean, he's not my favorite, but I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Maggie Gyllenhaal's awful.
Oh, what? I like Maggie Gyllenhaal a lot.
So
Oh, that's a shame.
bad.
Not even her in the Batman movies? As like, she was an upgrade over the Dawson's Creek girl, though. Katie Holmes.
Do you like Katie Holmes?
Man, fuck Katie Holmes. Especially in Batman Begins. She's terrible in that.
That's hilarious.
She's straight awful in that movie. Oh. Batman approves.
That's where that meme came from.
Mhm, yeah.
Batman approves.
This message approved by Batman.
Gotta love it, man.
All right.
Two-Face.
Yeah. Next time on Classic Cartoon Rewind. Coin flip sound.
We should definitely do that. Like, as there's a part next time.
Oh, right. Previously on Classic Cartoon. Oh man, did you see the Dragon Ball Z announcer guy died?
I feel like I've heard that a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't a recent thing, though.
I thought it was.
But it happened this year.
You know
though.
what?
Yeah,
Really
that's like
grinds
the
my
original.
gears, man. Is when people post old articles on like Facebook or something
Yes.
like that. Like I saw one
It's
from
annoying.
like I think it was like July of 2014 or 2015 or something. Like when I saw the headline, I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I looked at the date and I was like, "Why the fuck are you posting this?"
You know, like the mom from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
you know, she died like what 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I saw somebody post that as if like that happened this year.
Why? I had to comment on that person saying, I was like, in other news from July of 2014, Scarlett Johansson stars in Lucy. Like, that was that fucking long ago.
That was a horrible. Wasn't a bad movie.
I hate any movie that bases its premise around that bullshit theory that we only use.
Sorry. Mucus. I'm sorry.
You're good. Grade A radio there. That any movie that bases its premise around that theory that we only use 10% of our brains. Like that's
such a
so
weird.
stupid.
It's so weird.
Whoever made that theory is only using 10% of their brain.
10% of
Right, because like evolution would do that.
Because if we're only using 10% of our brain, let's be real here, all of the cognitive thoughts that we have wouldn't be as advanced.
Dude,
as
that's
that.
like reptile brain.
That's basically it.
Right.
Like,
We're just the lizard at that point.
You know how people are like, oh, these brains are small as a walnut? That's literally a walnut-sized brain.
It's dumb. Dumb.
But that movie was also one of those movies where they put the whole entire movie in the trailer.
Oh, yeah,
so
I believe that.
If you saw the trailer, you watched
the
entire movie.
Yeah.
And it was just... Spoiler alert, she becomes a what is it, memory stick.
Oh, okay. Wonder if that's the prequel for the movie Her. Yeah. Also starring Scarlett Johansson. Well, not starring, but because she's just a voice in it. But Joaquin Phoenix, you remember that movie? Where he falls in love with his AI? She's like his Siri or whatnot, but it's like a slightly like advanced.
Yeah, but...
And he starts falling in love with her and... No.
What was the premise of it? What was the point in that fucking drug in Lucy? What was the point?
Oh, of the Limitless thing?
Yeah. Why would we need that?
I mean, if we only use 10% of your brain, sure, a drug that allows you to use all of your brain would be useful.
So we could stop time with that if we used 100% of our brain.
Rule the world, baby.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. It's dumb.
God, it's a horrible movie.
Yes. Okay.
Blows my mind every time I think about it.
So, point being, whenever you're thinking of posting an article to Facebook or something like that,
yeah,
just do everybody else a favor and check the date first. And at least, just make it somewhat relevant.
If somebody posts something about how, you talk about the Dragon Ball Z announcer dying, it's like somebody posts something about, the original voice of Bulma died. She died 2 or 3 years ago. Somebody posts that now, you'd be like, dude, she's been dead.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she died 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
The original Bulma. In a car accident.
Oh, that's a shame. All right, well, that's it for today's episode of Classic Cartoon Rewind. You gotta join us next time. We will be covering episodes 10 and 11. So a Two-Face two-parter. Because, of course, Two-Face has to be a two-parter, right? Yeah, and it's good stuff. They kind of, I feel like this is the first one that they expand on the origin a little bit. We're going to get into that more with Heart of Ice. That's like the classic episode of Mr. Freeze, where the version of Mr. Freeze that you know of today is totally from this. I saw an episode of the 66 show the other day with Mr. Freeze in it.
Right.
So bad. So bad.
So bad.
He had this weird, kind of German accent. And the slang he always used was, I think he was saying wild. So whenever he would have like Batman and Robin tied up or something, but wild baby, huh? From Mr. Freeze.
Jesus
Just really over the top. If there's any villain that shouldn't be over the top, it's Mr. Freeze.
I don't know why they haven't done Mr. Freeze in a movie
that wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes,
right.
We could do without that.
Yeah.
But
Patrick Stewart, man, would have been a great choice back in the day. He was supposed to be it. But
was
he? But then I bet you he read the script and said, "Fuck that."
Yeah,
right.
This is I really like acting.
Yeah.
Not gonna have that.
I'm gonna just keep doing my Star Trek thing.
Definitely not gonna have that on my record.
Yeah,
definitely not.
No. But just a movie where Freeze would be dead to his emotions. That kind of take is the more interesting way to take the character, I believe. That's it for Classic Cartoon Rewind. I have been your host, Carter Hutchison.
And I've been your co-host, Huey V.
And we'll see you next week, kiddos.
This has been a Grassroots Comics production. Da-da-da! So what's your story?
What are you? Some kind of silly cartoon?
You got a problem with cartoons?